Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Noisy Neighbours podcast, the Monday City pod, joined by my brother Christian. Christian, how are we doing this evening?
Hey mate, yeah, another lackluster performance.
Yeah,
Oh god, when will it end? It's
tomorrow against Madrid.
yeah. Oh
Um,
no, you
yeah,
horrible man.
so you had what seemed an easy draw, Leyton Orient, to get to the next round, and it did not turn out that way. Um, What did you think? Well, I suppose what was your reaction of the game? You got through 2-1, but yeah, what did you think of the game? What did you think of the team? Were you disappointed in the 11? Obviously, it was rotated. What did you think? Yeah, give me your thoughts.
I think ultimately we limped over the line against a very poor side. No disrespect to them, but it's a side that even our second team, our rotation players, should be dispatching of them with ease.
Hmm.
It looked a level playing field a lot of the game. I know, this can happen in the FA Cup, but what's the bigger concern for me is we genuinely look absolutely fucked energy wise. We look like we're limping through games, and this is not the first time this season, bro. This is every match now. It's becoming a pattern. We are struggling to get through games, and this is why, obviously, with a better opposition, I saw at the end of that game. I don't know if you watched it through to the end. They nearly come back, and I tell you what, they'd have
They did
probably
at
won
1-1,
an
yeah.
extra time. And this is the thing against better opposition. We've seen it all year. Towards the end of games, we're
Yeah.
2-0, 3-0 up, and teams are coming back. This is because we've got no energy. Whether there's a severe fitness problem or it's attitude or confidence, I don't know. But mate, there is huge problems.
What did you? I mean, so I'm just looking at the starting 11 wasn't that bad. It wasn't like Liverpool's, was
Yeah,
it? You had your starting 11 for people who didn't see it was Gundogan and Gonzalez in centre mid, and then you had Jack Grealish, McAtee, Savio behind Mamouche. So, somewhat you think is heavy artillery in there. It didn't turn out that way. And do you think they just didn't fancy it, or what is this fitness stuff then, Christian? What are you seeing with the legs? What is going on?
I've no idea. It makes no sense because even from a fitness point of view, like you've just read out them names, then you're looking at that as a City fan before the game starts, and you're thinking, you know what, this is a chance before Madrid to build some confidence, get six
Mm,
or seven, and again, no disrespect to Leyton Orient, I'm sure they'd understand. It's just levels. We are we've been a top Prem side. Some
mm,
would say one of the best ever. You would
yeah,
expect us to have dispatched of them quite easily.
yeah,
And unfortunately, we've gone into the game, and I'm struggling to give anyone any credit. I
mm,
suppose Grealish would be the only one, but he had one or two moments that looked good, and other than that,
mm,
it was just dog shit. Every single player, Savinho looked fucking shocking, like
yeah,
absolutely shocking.
yeah,
But I tell you, another worry. We've brought in these new boys, and Alex. I don't know if you remember, we spoke about on previous pods, and I said this would happen.
yeah.
It got announced. I don't know if it was last week or early. Yeah, I think it was early last week, and it got announced. Vitor Reis is not going to be in the Champions League squad,
No,
right? And this is exactly what I said to you. I know 100% which direction this will go in, and it'll be next. It'll get to the summer, and it'll be at fucking Girona. And to be
mm,
honest, from what I've seen from Kusanov, wouldn't surprise me if he ends up at one of the sister clubs as well. Exactly what I was saying to you.
mm,
These are two guys we have spent an absolute fucking fortune on. And these were two guys, by the way, we've brought in as part of a 200 million January transfer window to help rescue this season. Not build in fucking 4 seasons. We need them now. We're on our
yeah.
arse.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, I actually thought the way the game ended, with De Bruyne coming on and scoring the winner, was actually quite symbolic of your season and your where you are at the moment. Is that you're playing a League One club and a player who is on the way out physically, and he's been an amazing player, has
Yeah,
had to come on in a game he shouldn't have to be coming on in and score the winner.
the
And I
rest
actually
of
thought
them.
it was quite symbolic, really, of how where you are, where it's like Grealish, McAtee, Savio, Mamouche, come on. I mean, Christ, there's like £300 million worth of talent there. And you've got to haul on
Well, you
fucking
say
De Bruyne.
£300 million worth of tax. It's £300 million worth of value. That's what we valued them at. Whether they fucking
Yeah.
are worth it, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's it. And then obviously Gundogan and Nico Gonzalez. Yeah. So it's. I mean, look, we're going to do the Madrid preview because it is a biggie, and especially with the Look, you could win the FA Cup. Like nobody'd rule either of us out really, because
Mm,
you would have to say on the pitch, we are not the best two teams. I don't think. Even you.
yeah,
I think there was probably teams that I think United and City could lose a tie away at Villa, away at Newcastle. I think we will both go out.
yeah,
But if United and City get a comfortable draw and they get to the final, I'm backing them against whoever's left.
yeah,
Include the only team I think that look, Villa and Newcastle in the final would be tough, but I would back City against both of them.
yeah,
But the Champions League for you is also the only other thing you've got trophy wise, because the Prem's gone and the Carabao's gone, obviously, and the FA Cup again. Like you're not a massive
yeah.
favourite for that, so it's big.
This week you can get away with saying that. I
Yeah,
don't know about after tomorrow, mate. But
yeah,
yeah, listen, yeah, no, you're right. I think the thing is for City as well. You're looking at these players that are coming in, and exactly what you said. The likes of Kevin De Bruyne should not be having to come on to rescue us against Leyton Orient to get us through. That is embarrassing. And them boys that are coming in, I'm not as much going to have a go at Marmoush. He's literally just come to the team. Same with Gonzalez. He went off in the first minute anyway. Um,
yeah,
which we'll get on. We'll get onto that. But listen, these guys like Savinho, Grealish, McAtee again. He's come in. At the end of the day, I've got to put him in the category though. If he's saying he wants to start for Man City, bro, you got to take these games by the scruff of the neck, and you've got to prove why you belong. You can't be
yeah.
dropping 3 out of 10s against fucking Leyton Orient and then moaning you aren't getting any game time. You have got to do something ultimately.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish, God, I don't know what has happened. I really don't. Yes, he did have that good moment. I think do you know what? I have got a bit of an opinion on him, and I think he has no future on any wing, to be honest. Not just at City. I don't know if he could go to
He's
another
lost a bit
team
of
and
pace,
start.
I mean.
Yeah, I just don't think he has that confidence or pace anymore, whatever it is. I think as a number 8, as like a bit of a workhorse, I genuinely think that's his future. And I'm surprised we've never trialled him there, because he is quite a good creative player. He's very good carrying the ball. He'll win free kicks. He's good in transition.
Yeah,
But
I suppose the only thing is like if you're playing a De Bruyne, you can't play De Bruyne and Grealish ahead of Kovacic. You're already getting diced up like fucking, barbecue chicken in there, aren't you? It's
yeah,
if you sling fucking Grealish in there, Christ, Kovacic is already getting fucking swamped.
that's it.
But yeah, I mean, look, I suppose like Marmoush, Savio, you've got to give passes to. I think the frustration is coming because we had a look at the recruitment on the last pod, and we were talking about these guys now have come in. These can't be your Doku 1 in 7 games. Marmoush, Savio are going to have to start delivering, because you're now replacing De Bruyne, Bernardo, Walker. These players are going.
That's it, mate. But this is the thing, though. Are any of them at the level that they're going to be able to walk in and actually step into them boots? Because what we've seen so far, they won't. I'll tell you what, Savinho isn't. You can forget him doing anything like that this year. At most, maybe next year he can sort of step into some sort of role.
Is that, I suppose, we don't know what's going to happen with other teams, but is that a concern for you where you feel like you might be at a bit of a crossroads with the team and the squad? Because it's very, very difficult to say on. I suppose Marmoush is a biggie, because if Marmoush is good, then that eases a lot of your concerns. But it's like, are you concerned that you might have like Haaland and Foden on one side of the bridge and the rest of the team trying to keep up with them and get to that level? And what does next season look like? Because you can't really start signing. You're going to need to give these guys a chance. You can't go again and sign 80 mil player to put Marmoush on the bench,
Alex, you made an excellent point though last week when you were talking about we had to get certain signings right, and I don't think we have done. And I
No.
think if you look around, Savinho, could he be something for the future? Yes, he could. But is he something right now? No, he's not.
Mm,
Doku, I don't even think he could be something for the future. And he certainly isn't anything right now. So they're two guys that were brought in to do something in this team. Both can't do
yeah.
it. So then we're looking around and we're trying to make Bernardo run. And it's like a dog
Mm,
who's been fucking walking around the bloody streets all day and we're getting it home and putting it on the treadmill. You know,
yeah.
he's knackered. Just give him a rest. He's ran his race for City, and so many of these boys have, and they've earned the right to be rotation luxury players. And ultimately, we failed them. We were meant to bring in guys to replace these, and we fucked up because ultimately we
Yeah.
brought in guys who aren't even capable of on a rotation basis getting through a shit FA Cup tie.
I know. I mean, I'm looking at your squad and I'm thinking, like you said, the pressure is on the recruitment now because you've got away with the last couple because you still had the back end of De Bruyne, Bernardo. Obviously, you still had Rodri, so I mean that's not helped things either. But now it's like now you're panicking because you've suddenly gone from having a really, really balanced team where you've got, okay, yeah, come in Doku, come in Grealish. Now it's like, yeah, well, we've literally lost De Bruyne, Mahrez, Bernardo, and Alvarez in the last 2 seasons. You cannot, the Marmoush and Doku cannot be playing 1 in 7. Savinho can't be playing 1 in 7. Like Foden and Haaland, even if they're amazing, I don't know, like, how are you going to get to 85, 90 points if those boys don't start turning up for you next season? And we're looking ahead, obviously, but
This is it, Alex. You're looking at these signings, and we needed them to come in and hit the ground running and be at a level they
mm,
could actually rotate with your likes of your De Bruyne's, your Bernardos, and
mm,
and not just rotate to a level where we could afford to leave De Bruyne out in a big game and we could hold our own. Mate, we
yeah,
can't afford to leave De Bruyne out in a fucking dead rubber game because the guys that we're putting him in space of him are shit. And that's the
mm,
problem. That's where we're at. And I think
yeah,
you are going to see a big. We'll get onto that Real Madrid prediction, but you are going to see. I think our mistakes are going to really show that night on our recruitment and where we have ultimately failed to replace these
mm,
boys. And I think you are going to see a real bad viewing
yeah.
if you're a City
Yeah,
fan.
just before we move on, I just want to talk about you mentioned about the fitness and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and I'm just interested in your opinion on with the recruitment. You've never really recruited insane athletes, but you've always made sure you've had the very best technical footballers, which has meant you haven't had to do much ball chasing because you're having 70% of the ball.
yeah.
Now, are you getting a little bit concerned that Pep is never going to go and sign three midfielders like N'Golo Kante, Nemanja Matic? Pep will never line up with that midfield. He's going to play with ball players ultimately who can win the ball back and work in packs. Are you concerned now that if you're getting 50-55% of the ball, you've not got the athleticism? Are you worried about the recruitment and how much physicality do you think this team needs if the technical ability is not there?
No, mate, you're right. And the thing is, though, he's gone so far one way, like you
Mm,
said, that he's more for the ball playing midfielders, which has
mm,
resulted in signings such as Matias Nunes, Nico
mm,
Gonzalez, right? But then at the same time, well, then what if they're not that good ball playing either? We've ultimately
mm.
not got a great athlete and they're not that good on the ball, which is what
Yeah,
Nunes is. I'm not putting Gonzalez in that, by the way. I've seen absolutely fuck all of him. He had a bit
yeah,
of a disaster of a debut. It was a complete welcome to England. Have that, you bastard. And that's you out. It was a proper, like, welcome
yeah.
to England. Fuck
It
off.
was. It was.
Even Pep said it in his fucking
Yeah.
interview after the game. They went, "Are we going to see him?" I thought, God, what? See him again? We paid 60 million. I hope we do.
I'm going to buy myself out of my contract because
I
Leyton
know.
Orient was that horrible.
Jeez, mate, I've got to be honest. I will just say this, right? He didn't fancy it, Gonzalez. I'll put that out there right now, right? Because
No.
that wasn't enough to come off. I'm sorry, and any City fan
Yeah.
can call me on this, right? But I've heard reports today that the guy's fit and he can play against Real Madrid. That doesn't
Yeah.
look that great then, that he came off against Leyton Orient because someone
Yeah.
fell on him. Come on,
Well,
boy.
this comes back to we've been talking about mentality and certainly with United and stuff like that. And now you're looking at your club and you're thinking, like, well, I need to see the mentality of these players. Like, we will stand by you for having a bad game, but
Yeah.
don't be sort of crumbling under the pressure, which, you know, United players do. You know, like they're
Yeah, yeah,
not as
yeah.
shit as this, some of them.
Don't
Whereas,
be shirking a fucking tackle,
yeah,
as
yeah,
Warnock would say.
get leathered in.
Yeah.
No, like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, and we're gonna do the Madrid preview later, but
Yeah.
you are like, there's so many things like mysteries around this City squad that like you do wonder. Like, I always thought Guardiola and his style would survive any sort of change in the game, just because it was so dominant. It was. I always said to you that his style of play just pulverizes smaller teams. Like, I mean, it pulverizes big teams, but you know, like you sort of your bottom half of the team, it was like 5-0 just every single
Yeah.
fucking game. You never even, you know, I remember sometimes Fergie would go to Middlesbrough with like Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez, and it'd be a 2-2. It'd be tough. And Guardiola just goes and just blitzes. When it was at your best, the Centurion season, it was like, we'll go to Watford and win 6-0. We're not fucking bothered whether we're at home or away. And it's like, this is the first time, and we spoke about that guy in the overlap, and he was talking about the physicality in the Prem and how it feels like there's been a change on direct play and real strong players all over the pitch. Palace the other week at Old Trafford were just fucking roaming round. And I
Yeah.
just wonder if, like, Guardiola now is like, he's obviously gone nuts in January trying to save the season. And it's like, I wonder if he's looking at it now like, oh my God, am I going to have to tweak something here? Like, you know.
Mate, like you said, these boys, some of these boys in the Prem, they're disrespectful. Like, they don't respect you anymore. If they're coming in, like you said, these athletes, like Carlos Baleba, or Belieber,
Yeah.
forgive me if I'm getting his name wrong,
Yeah.
fucking
Brighton.
ruin it. And to be fair, he's ready to go. If he's going against the City midfield, he's like, I'm fucking dominating today. I'm better than all of these, and
Yeah.
I'm much stronger. I'm much fitter. I'm much quicker. I'm much more powerful than any of them. And they're looking at it
Wow.
disrespectfully. Palace do the same. Like you were saying, your boys, you're the ultimate example. And I think we both are. We've both said this for weeks, Alex. I
We
think
have.
teams come up against City and United's midfield, and they
Yeah.
both fucking fancy it.
We're going to run through them. And not just that, I mean, like, also team centre halves are really, those two at Forest, Milenkovic, Savic, and and Murillo.
Big
Fuck
bastards.
me. They eat you for breakfast, them.
Oh,
Like,
facts.
and the centre mid, we've spoke about the centre mids and the physicality and the pace that teams play in transition. And it's a little bit more direct now. It's not the full route one, but it is a little bit like, we're going to break the press quicker. Like, you know, because teams copy Guardiola. It's play out to the right back to the centre back, create a triangle, we'll progress up the pitch. Now it's like, can the centre back or the keeper get it into the number 10 quickly? And it's like Forest do it brilliantly. Can we get the ball into Morgan Gibbs-White, Elanga, and Hudson-Odoi quick before the team sets? And it's these little things where you do wonder how Guardiola is seeing things now. You know, is he thinking, fucking, moment, I'm going to have to sort of, you know, because every great manager has had it where it's been like, God, I don't know if it's going to, I'm going to have to change something.
I think his signings have been a bit erratic as well. Like, for instance, the Marmoush one, I do actually back. I do think he will come good, so I don't want anyone coming at me for that. However, it's been a bit of a weird start for Marmoush because you've seen him play in 3 different positions so far, right? In 3 games.
That's a good point.
Bit of a worry. Okay, so we watched him against Leyton Orient and they go, right, you're our number 9. But we know he's not going to be the number 9 going forward, and he knows he's not going to be the number 9 going forward. So, dude, where are you then? Because we can't have you playing up front one week and then on the next week you're putting him out wide. Don't get me wrong, some players can do it, but it's very rare you'll get consistency out of a player that you ask that from. You look at Julian Alvarez, right? And I'm a big fan of Alvarez, you know that. But he did lack consistency because we chopped and changed him. And the poor bastard didn't know whether he was coming or going. He was on the right wing for 20 minutes. Then it was like, well, we'll make a sub. Bernardo goes out wide. You go in the number 10, Alvarez. In fact, we're going to bring Haaland off the last 10, up front. You don't know what the fuck you're playing.
No.
And this is where we've got to be really precise. And I think Guardiola, listen, he's a much fucking smarter man than I am. And he obviously has his ideas. I'm sure he'll make them work, to be fair. But it has been a bit of a concerning few weeks being a City fan. I mean, it's been concerning all year, but in terms of these new signings, I am very worried about what direction we're going in.
I mean, I always feel that the worse your recruitment is, the worse the squad is, the more pressure on your approach and your style of play. And I think that's what we're seeing at the moment, where the squad isn't as good. So now there's the pressure is on Guardiola's approach and tactical setup, which we have never seen. Because even in his first season, we had to look at the stats. I haven't got them in front of me, but the goals conceded stat. And I know you're missing Rodri and stuff like that. But before he went and bought Walker, Mendy, Diaz, Laporte, and fucking whoever else he bought, you were sort of having those games. You lost 4-0 at Everton and 4-2 at Leicester. This year's been worse, a lot worse. You're on pace to concede over 50 goals, and it's like, what is going on now? Like, is the squad thinner? So the tactics need tweaking, or is it a bit of both? Or if you don't, at the end of the day, better players make every system look good, don't they? That's the bottom line.
Yeah. But Alex, here's the thing. No, I do agree with you, by the way. But just a little thing you mentioned then, it just got me thinking. You're so right in terms of that first year under Guardiola. We all saw the problems, and he saw the problems. They were glaringly obvious. We needed to replace the fullbacks. We'd gone, we were pushing it. I think we had like Kolarov, Clichy was still there.
Yeah.
We had some players who just couldn't be doing it anymore. Zabaleta was still there. Now, he was so precise. He went out, bang, bang, bang. I want Kyle Walker, 50 million, no problem. Ben Mendy, go and get him. He wanted athletes, right? Now, the difference between that approach and this January window is night and day, bro. And this is where I'm concerned, is that we've had... I don't think these transfers make anywhere near as much sense as that first season in the summer did, because when he spent all that money, he got all shit off all fans saying, "Oh, you're 200 million on fullbacks," whatever it fucking was. But everyone was quietly thinking, "Yeah, but they're going to be fucking good though, aren't they?" Like, they've also bought a load of fucking athletes that are going to be very difficult to get past, and they're also a fucking threat. Now, what we've done here is leans back to what we've just been saying on the United pod, and me and you have been saying this for fucking weeks, and we bore ourselves senseless. We are spending money, ready-made money, on players that are nowhere near ready-made. And ultimately, bro, I think that'll be our kryptonite, because we've got these players that have come in January. They're meant to save the season. One's not even registered to play in the Champions League, so we're definitely not seeing him tomorrow. The other one has a severe confidence issue, and I don't know, his body language is really odd for a centre-back. Yeah. He looks like he's about to start crying all the time. I don't want to get on at him, but...
If you think Bernardo and De Bruyne are going to go in the summer, and look, I don't want to be disrespectful to them, but I would imagine they would. Even if they stay, I don't think that's going to be great for them or City. Let's assume De Bruyne and Bernardo come out now, because there's an argument you might want them to come out anyway in certain games. Certainly Bernardo. You look at that team on that you played Leyton Orient. Well, Marmoush. So if we just, you might go and sign again, but I feel like you're going to have to give Marmoush a crack. I mean, he's 80 mil or 75 mil, whatever he was. So you've got Haaland, Foden, Marmoush, and you would imagine Savinho as well as a front four, and then Rodri and one of the others in centre mid. Two of that front four started on Saturday.
Yeah,
that's the concern, and you've still got Foden and Haaland and stuff like that. But Bernardo and De Bruyne could be gone. Like, you're clinging to him at the minute because it's like, fuck me, we need him still.
Yeah, exactly. This is it. We're struggling with what to put in. And I don't know where Pep goes with it. We need Gonzalez more than ever to be a hit. If this guy comes in and he's not up to it, we are in a right fucking mess. Yeah, I know we'll go again in the summer. But where do you stop, though? You can't keep missing on transfers. We missed on Nunes. If this is a miss on Gonzalez, we're getting to a point where we're hitting dangerous. We're hitting really...
You're hitting United heights.
Yeah, we actually are, though, because then you get to a thing where it's like, shit, the imbalance of the squad's getting bigger, and it's getting bigger with shit players, and then we're going to have to go out and replace another one.
Well, Christian, all you got to do is look at United. I mean, United have spent as much as anyone, and we're fucking 12th. I'm not saying this is going to happen to City, because you can't imagine, and they're not that bad. But we're talking about you're in that phase. You're in that sort of, when City won the league in the last minute with Aguero, and Fergie went out and was like, "No, I want one more, then I'm retiring." You're in that phase of us now, where it was like, I could see the team was aging. I was grateful that Van Persie got us one more title. Christ, I didn't think it'd be the last one of my lifetime, which it looks like. But you're in that thing of, it's not crisis, but we have to get it right. Like, United did not get it right, and we've not got it right since the last window, since 2013, we've probably signed two or three good players.
Alex, I'll ask you this though. I
Do
have
you know what
my
I mean?
I have my opinion on this, right? I'll ask you as a United fan because you experienced this, as you've just said, with
Yeah.
Fergie and with United after that Aguero moment. You
Mm.
saw that the squad was depleting, and you knew how important the new signings were, and it ended up being so detrimental to United's next 10 years. Well,
Yeah.
maybe not 10 years, the next at least 3, 4, 5 years.
Mm.
So, do you think you looking at this City team, knowing what you went through, do you
Mm.
think we've already gone past that point? You're saying to me this next stage is important. Dude, I think we've missed the important stage. I
Mm.
think we've got that wrong. We're now in the
Yeah.
rebuild stage and we've got to replace the ones we got wrong.
I think you're in the Moyes season. As far as obviously you've got a far better coach because David Moyes. Look, big up David Moyes. I think he's a fantastic Prem coach. But we're talking about you've got Pep Guardiola, so you've got an amazing manager. That isn't going to change. But I do think that the squad. I think you're fifth, and we came sixth under Moyes, so it's in line with that. I do think that it reminds me of that season a lot because I remember, when say Giggs, I remember Giggs coming in for Moyes a few games, and I used to say to Phil a lot, and he obviously loves Giggs, and I'm like, we can't be fucking playing Giggs. This should not be what we're doing. And Giggs would go and be man of the match, right? And it does remind me a little bit. Look, he wasn't man of the match every game, but he had those games where he rolled back the years, and he was a centre mid then. If you remember, Giggs was just fucking playing in the centre mid because he was just technically amazing.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of you a little bit, where it's like, God, we need runners, we need runners, we need runners, and it's like, and then De Bruyne will out of nowhere have a 9 out of 10, and but Bernardo less so because he's never been that punchy player. But it's like it does remind me of that, where it's like that season we had Januzaj, who was the fucking Rooney, Van Persie, and that it was that aging team, and the young lads weren't performing either. I do think that transitioning into the next season, United just let it rot. We didn't. It's like under Van Gaal, we went a bit berserk, but when we went and signed Falcao and Di Maria, Falcao was 6 months post ACL tear. It was just stupid again. And then we got was it Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin, and we just didn't hit at all. And then what I would say is, you want your new signings to come into a team and bed in while you're still good. I think what you're getting at is, your players now are coming into a team, it's turbulent, and you're losing games, you're conceding goals, and now it's you're concerned because Nico Gonzalez comes on at the weekend, gets lamped, they score straight away, and he comes off, and it's fuck me, mate, do you fancy this or not, lad?
Well, he didn't. That's the point.
And look, you've got Haaland, you've still got some great players. Haaland, Foden, Rodri coming back, Diaz if he can get fit. You do need a goalkeeper, though. I think that's another conversation. I think you need a goalkeeper. And again, it's just these little things where a new keeper. We had the exact same thing. De Gea came in for Van der Sar. Took 2 years to settle down.
The keeper market's a mad one, isn't it, to get right as well, because I see City fans are saying who they want, and I've heard this. Is it Diogo Costa?
Yeah, Porto.
Yeah, Porto. I tell you what, that guy's got a bozo gene in him. I've seen him do that. Well, put it this way: there's a compilation on YouTube of him making absolute fucking gaffes. So are we really? What, we're going to go and drop 50, whatever they bloody ask us for? The old potential fee. And there's YouTube videos of him dropping bullets left, right, and centre. Yeah. Anyway, going off the point a little bit on that one. Yeah, the main thing, Alex, is you said it right. We've gone past the point now where these younger lads that were brought in to learn from the old guard and carry on the mantle, we've missed that now because the old guard has fell and they're struggling to compete at Prem level anymore. And the new boys aren't simply at the level, so they haven't got the transition has not happened. So you've got two decisions to make if you're Pep. You're the new boys are brought in aren't at the level. I need to go and sign again, which I think, to be honest, that's what we've seen. He went and did 200 million in January, and he will do it again in the summer.
Yeah.
Or your other thing is, well, they're going to come good, but I've not seen enough from these boys to think. You're looking at Doku, the likes of Doku and Savio. Do I think they are at a level to win a Premier League? Because that is Manchester City. We are 4 times in a row champions. I don't think them boys are in the same stratosphere of getting anywhere near that level of success. I'm not saying they never
Yeah.
will be, but they are, mate. They're not in. They're not even in that conversation.
I suppose put it like this, Christian, right? Say so Father Time is catching up on certain players, and that's fine. You can't hold it against them. You can be disappointed when they play shit. That's fine. I was, you know, but on reflection, I think like Giggs, Scholes were absolutely amazing. Rooney was amazing. Van Persie was amazing for that 1 year. But it's like you imagine this right now. So you've gone and signed. Let's say you've still signed the same players. Everything has gone the way it's gone. However, let's say currently in your team right now, your starting 11 is Grealish, Foden, Doku behind Haaland, and you've got a midfield of Nunez and Rodri as your starting midfield too. If you had that and you were a very good side, Marmoush comes in and it's like, look, Omar, Jack Grealish is the starting left winger for this team. He's contributing. He's playing really well. We're second in the league, hypothetically. You're going to get some games. You're going to play against Leyton Orient, and then Jack's going to play against Real Madrid, and settle yourself in England. Get used to the city. You've moved countries like you're a young lad. Same with you, Savinho. Same with you, Nico Gonzalez. We're going to bring you into certain games. Hey, imagine the difference if you had Doku, Grealish, Nunez were all starters for you right now.
Yeah, exactly. Mate,
The difference is they're not. They're on the fucking bench. And not even on the bench. I mean, you want to sell probably 2 of them. Doku, I guess you'd keep as an impact.
No, Alex, you're right. The difference is these boys have been brought in to replace them lot. The lads who bought the initial replacements are going to be shifted on. You're talking your Jack Grealish, your Nunez. They are being moved on. We know this for a fact. They're not going to be City players next season.
I know.
So how the fuck are they going to help with the transition? When, to be fair, Pep doesn't... I mean, I'll tell you what, Pep's thing with Grealish, I don't know what the fuck has gone on, but he doesn't even fancy him in games. I tell you what, it wouldn't have shot me if he wouldn't have played him against Leyton Orient. I don't know what... I don't know what on earth has gone on, but...
Well, I mean, what do you think? I mean, what do you think of the goalkeepers and your importance looking ahead to the season? Because the Prem's wrote off, assuming you get top 5, which I do still think you will. What do you think of the goalkeepers, and what would you do?
I don't know why. Again, mate, he's been messing around with the fucking defence all year, messing around with the keepers. He's been so unsettled, and I tell you, I'm not blaming it on Pep, but he certainly hasn't helped. You know, chopping and changing goalkeepers, game in, game out. It's not helped anyone. And do you know what? You tell me in history. When has it ever worked that? When has it ever worked changing the number 1? We saw it with Barca, with fucking Bravo and Ter Stegen, and we went and bought one of the idiots. Do you know what I mean?
No, you make a great point. I mean, you mentioned before...
It's never a good idea.
This subbing defenders in the 60th minute to get fresh legs on at the back. It's the same principle. You build that core of goalkeeper, centre-back. That 3 is the most important thing on a football pitch, other than literally your striker scoring goals. You have those 3. I think of the great United teams. Mate, them 3 pick themselves. Even Van der Sar was past his best when we got him. But him, Vidic and Rio knew each other. They knew each other's games. They were leaders. They were proper, well-experienced players. Those 3, every game. Them 3 lined up, I thought we were keeping a clean sheet. I didn't give a shit who was at fucking Fabio, Raphael, fucking Everett. Who even cares? Them 3 were right. And Carrick in front, and you've had it for ages. Edison has never been the mega shot stopper, but he has been a good contributor, a very good contributor in his own way. But now,
good enough to carry us with the shot stopping. So it's
well, you've not got I mean, that's the thing, Christian. Now it's like now you're sort of conceding. Let's say you concede 50 goals this season, which I would say you will in the league. Now you're like, right, I don't give a shit how good he is with his feet. We need to stop the fucking ball going in the net. You know, the arrogance that you had, maybe that's harsh, but the swagger, and you earned that, by the way. This isn't me having a go. You, Guardiola, the club earned this right to go, I'm going to fuck Bravo off, and I'm going to get another keeper. I don't really care how good he is at saving shots. I know we're going to be the best team in Europe. I want the goalkeeper to be good with his feet. You were the bollocks. You went and big dick the league, and you went, I don't give a shit if he can fucking save anything. He's as good with his feet as a centre mid, and that's what you did now. Now it's like Edison. I don't care if you can fucking shut your eyes and do 100 kick-ups, mate. We need to stop the ball going in.
Yeah, but then to be honest, we brought Ortega in, and he's not been great. He's
No,
not
Ortega's
showered
not been
himself
good.
in
He
glory.
doesn't.
And the one
Ortega
thing
doesn't. Is he tall, Ortega, or is he quite small? I don't know how.
I don't know his exact stats. I mean, I don't think I wouldn't recognise him as being a small keeper. I suppose is
No,
he just average or something? But I
maybe. I
think,
don't
to
know,
be
yeah.
honest, his shot stopping has been absolutely superb
Mm,
prior to this season. And
yeah.
then we were in a bit of a sticky spot because Ortega was very close to leaving in the summer, and then Ortega was close to leaving last summer.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
City kept him, and then Edison was expected to leave this summer, and then it just didn't happen. Some weird reason it didn't get over the line. We were hesitant to let him go, whatever the reasoning was. Then we've ended up with both of them going into the season. Pep didn't know which one he wanted to start.
Yeah.
It's resulted in a bit of a mess. Then we've had the Rodri situation. Then Pep has chopped and changed the defence. And the thing is, he's like going on with injuries, right? Which, yeah, we have had injuries, I do admit. I get his point. However, he cannot blame injuries on the fact that he's bringing Rico Lewis on with 20 minutes to go, and then bringing Rico Lewis in, put him in at fullback, and moving Vardiol into centre back for the last 20 minutes, and then we concede 2 goals. I'm sorry, that's not
Mm,
an injury. That's
yeah.
you piss-arsing about, and then you're on the touchline slapping the turf, dude. You're messing with it.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is where you know what, like I said before about the when the talent in the squad drops, that's when the pressure comes on the manager, and every single decision, like you said, is scrutinised because, like I
Yeah,
said, back in the day, you beating teams 6-0. He didn't give a fucking shit who he played. He could when you was rolling with that fucking insane 2019 18 team from any given game. He used to do it at Barca. You know, like in the in the last group game when they already qualified at Barca. And you said it, he played his reserve keeper in that as well, didn't he? Stegen just randomly played. I
yeah,
know that
yeah,
wasn't Pep, that was post Pep, but he started at Pep, didn't he, with the Valdez, and he'd rotate. And it's like, he would just roll out any fucker in centre mid and they'd win. They'd have 70% of the ball. It was like the aura. It was like,
yeah.
I don't care who I'm playing, we're going to have 70% of the ball. And now this is the first time where it's like, Pep, you can't just fucking roll the dice here. Like you said, oh, I'm going to bring Lewis on, move Guardiola, fucking bring Aki off. And it's like, what the fuck, mate? Like, we're getting twatted.
Yeah, no, he can't be doing it. And I think, to be honest, Alex, yeah, there's a few things that concern me at the minute. The biggest one for me, we've brought in these boys, and I just don't know what direction we're really going in.
Mm.
Where is Marmouche in terms of the front line? I'd love to know what Guardiola's plan is. I told you when we were signing him, there was them fucking retard pundits that are going, oh, he's going to sit on the bench. No, he's not. He's going to play every game. But
Mm.
where my concern was, I never thought that. That's just some retard lazy pundits that somehow have not watched any City games or anything of Alvarez the year
Yeah.
before. But anyway, my concern was, and I even asked you when we were in for him, do you think he could play with Haaland? And, from what we've seen, it's a bit weird because he's been put out. He was predominantly a striker for Frankfurt. We've brought him in, and Haaland is the ultimate number 9 man. He's not very flexible.
No.
He's not gonna interchange with. See, Alvarez did a remarkable job with Haaland, and I think this is why I really liked him because he knew the exact moments where he could jib in and get past Haaland, and Haaland would distract the defense. But if you're trying to interchange with Haaland, that's a tough task.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he's your ultimate number 9 that doesn't really want to play with another striker. He wants to play with wingers that will create for him, or an inside creator like Kevin De Bruyne. So Marmouche needs to fit into this, and ultimately I don't know where. And I hope Pep has the answers.
Yeah, it is really interesting, and there's elements of panic really with it all because it's just chucking people in and just hoping something happens. It's not
felt like that. It has.
It's in the past you've eased people in, and like you said, Marmouche has started 3 games against 3 different opponents in 3 different positions, and it's probably going to be he's probably going to play Tuesday. I mean, we're going to come to Madrid in a minute, and we'll go through that. But assuming he starts on Tuesday, I mean, God, where's he going to be? Is he back on the left?
I have a feeling he'll take him out.
You wouldn't rule it out, would you?
Yeah,
But
I
we'll
am
get to
feeling
it.
he'll
But
take
yeah,
him out.
I mean, on a cup run, you've got Plymouth in the next round. I'm guessing you would like to have look, everyone wants a cup run, but you're looking at FA Cup this year as like a good opportunity to win something.
we went through it with your team on the last pod. It's a good opportunity for both of us, isn't it? And you look at who's left. Yeah, no disrespect, you've got some you've got some good teams in there. You know, Newcastle and Villa are both better than City and United currently. Miles better, in fact.
Yeah.
However,
I mean,
on
Leeds,
the day, I agree with the point you made on the last pod. On the day in the final, I think. Do you know what would be better? More beneficial for a Villa or a Newcastle if they get us sooner rather than later. If they get us at Villa Park or St James's, respectively, in the next round or two, they'll beat us. However, if I see them get United or City in the final, that's a bit of a risky one because the pressure is all on them. Because they know it's like, oh my God, we're never going to face a City team as bad as this. We're never going to, well... I don't know if I'll say the same about you because United do have a bit of a habit of topping it somehow. Yeah. But
we will win it, but we'll still get worse next year.
But joking apart, that will be the mindset of them boys. So the pressure does lamp on him. So it'll be an interesting one, mate. But hopefully we can stay apart and we'll see a repeat of not an exact repeat, but we'll see a repeat fixture of last season.
Very possible. I mean, if United beat Fulham, it's not a great fixture either for United.
Are we doing another Wembley visit like that infamous Argentina?
Oh, that was great, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing.
It'd probably be as hilarious as that one because we'd probably be so pissed and wouldn't care about the score anyway.
Yeah, facts.
That's the thing. I agree with you though. I think if we get them in the semis or the final at Wembley, I reckon we could turn them over. But I reckon if United go St James's Park, just save the fucking petrol. We will.
Yeah, mate. No, I agree.
They got Old Trafford over Christmas, didn't they? And the same will happen to you. You'll get battered. So yeah.
Well, let's just hope no one falls near Nico Gonzalez in the first 60 seconds.
That's brilliant. Is he going up against Bellingham on Tuesday? Old Nico.
Oh God, I tell you what, it's shocking. That I'm sorry. No, you know what? He won't get called out on that because he'll get the new signing benefit. But mate, that was not good. That I tell you what, he'd be better if he stays out for a few weeks because I'll give him less shit. If he starts against Madrid, I'm going to give him fucking absolute pelters for that Leyton Orient shit.
It reminded me of I remember I was playing Sunday League once and I was so hungover and I just faked to pull my hamstring and then and then I was meant to be training the next Thursday and the manager he's going, "Shoot me out for a month, mate," and I'm like, "No, I'll be there tonight." But you pulled your hammy on Sunday. Oh, God. All right, mate.
We'll wrap it, mate. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, there's something left in the season for both of us.
Bit of juice in the FA. Yeah, I mean, I think. Hey, look, if we get through, we're both in the quarters, and then it's the last 8, so we've got
back on.
We've got again another good chance. 3 years in a row of pulling each other. That is insane. I mean, if we somehow got the final, a trilogy.
I know. Do you know it's weird, Alex? I went for ages, right? Because we obviously beat you in that infamous semi-final, which you led us to break in the 34-year duct or whatever it was, 35 years. And I always thought, like, it would have been mad to have done it in the final. And I was just thinking, I wonder if we'll ever play each other in the final. We could be doing 3 back-to-back.
I mean, not only have you both got to win out to get there, you have to miss each other in the draw, and if you get to the semi-final, you've got a 1 in 3 chance of pulling them.
United, I just can't believe United's like cup run. I mean that should, you know, when they used to make the DVDs of like the derby wins, like City versus United, they should have made a DVD United's cup run. It'd be fucking hilarious. That Liverpool one where you just got battered and you went on a run in the last minute and scored.
It was hilarious last season.
You are honestly such a funny guy.
And then Coventry were 3-0 up and coasting, and we nearly lost it 4-3.
I forgot about that. Was there a dodgy VAR as well?
Well, it was a VAR.
Oh no, I mean it weren't dodgy, but you get me.
His toe was offside. Yeah, otherwise we'd have lost 4-3. You were a toenail from a 6-0 win against Coventry, and instead lost to United. That just sums United up. That. Yeah. We nearly handed Haaland 7 goals in the final against Coventry and City another trophy. Instead, we somehow trump you. It's just
insane, mate. But yeah, we'll hopefully it happens. And if it does, I'm sure we'll try and get there. But
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
got the derby.
so
Any more derbies would be amazing. I mean, we've got one in April. It's going to be fun, and if we do get an FA Cup, it'd be class. But
yeah, man,
yeah, hopefully it's the semis or the final. We'll definitely go this. Definitely go this year for sure.
cool,
Okay, mate. Let's wrap it. Thanks, Christian. Catch you on the next one, everyone.
awesome. Cheers, guys.